Unusual Storytime Part 7, The Staircase. On May 9th, 2023, a couple, Victoria and Bobby, went hiking in the woods in Colorado. They came upon the tent that was falling in on itself. They weren't sure how long the site had been abandoned, but they hesitantly checked to see if there was anything or anyone inside. They called out, but no one responded. Inside the tent was a pack with some protein bars, some water, and some various survival supplies. There was a filthy sleeping bag and a journal in the tent as well. The whole time Victoria chattered non-stop about her job, and after about the campsite, and then about the journal, sounding like a lunatic story. As Bobby read over pages, a man wrote about locating something in the woods. He seemed to have been driven mad by an obsession to find a staircase out here. They both laughed it off. They unsuccessfully searched for identification, so they noted the location to report it all when they left and ventured on. After hiking halfway back, they saw it, a perfectly pristine staircase, just sitting right off the path. It was so strange, not just because it was out of place in the woods, but also because it wasn't there on the way in. They both sensed dread, but felt drawn to it. They both slipped into some kind of trance. Suddenly, Bobby realized the sun was going down. It had to have been hours. He looked around. He was at the bottom of the stairs, kneeling, his backpack in one hand and something else in the other. Victoria was coming down the stairs, dust blowing away in the wind behind her eyes vacant. Silently, but smiling, he stuffed the item in his hand into his backpack and put his backpack on. He told her he wasn't sure how much time had passed, but they needed to get back before it got dark. She continued her vacant stare. He looked back at the stairs, got a chill, and told her it was time to go. They headed back with her slightly behind him, following silently. After some time, he started to unpack his backpack. He found the item he had stuffed into his pack earlier, and to his surprise, it was a camcorder. He was curious to see what may be on it, if anything. It was late, and Victoria had gone to bed early because she was not feeling well and was acting strange. He thought she must be tired from the strange outcome of the day. He removed the SIM card from the camera and popped it into his laptop. Videos came up, so he started playing them in order from when they were recorded. January 5th, 2023, the man is sitting at a picnic table alone near a trail sign and begins telling a brief story about being in search and rescue. He overheard colleagues talking about a staircase in the woods and others hushing the conversation. He was interested in the subject, but had been forbidden by many of them from discussing it. Eventually, he persisted, and curiosity got him fired. After looking into it some more, he decided he needed to see it for himself and was out looking for it. The video ended. There was several more just ramblings about not wanting to leave until he found the truth. The last video starts and he's elated at the staircase in front of him. It was the same one Bobby and Victoria saw in the woods earlier that day. Bobby watched the man climb the stairs. At the top, the video glitched for a moment before becoming blindingly white. There was no discernible floor or walls, just white. The man called out, "Hello?" His voice echoed, but sounded like static as it came back. A mirage-like figure begins to materialize, slowly making the form of a person. "Hello?" he called out again, but this time it echoed with that same static sound, but didn't stop until it sounded just like him. "What's going on?" he cried, with fear in his voice. The figure was beginning to develop some features. The mouth opened and repeated him in his voice. "What's going on? Hello? Hello? What's going on?" Slowly it began to look exactly like him. It looked and sounded exactly like him. Its eyes were vacant, but it smiled at him. The camera was shaking. He tried to leave the way he came, but when he stuck his arm out, he yelped and jerked his arm back with his hand missing. The thing that took his form told him that's not an exit. Still smiling, he followed it another way and exited, somehow still coming out at the top of the stairs. He was trying to record what was happening to him as his body turned to dust. The camera toppled all the way to the bottom of the stairs. Although the camera was upside down, Bobby was able to see the look-alike step down from the stairs and walk out of view. As Bobby sat and watched a blank upside-down frame of the woods in silence, he wondered what his wife actually was and what she was capable of.